Morning, everyone. All right, I'm just trying to see if this works on this thing here. Let's see if it switches over. Okay, I was trying to work it on a different camera, and I'm connected on this camera. Okay, great. All right, so it's been a little bit of a rough week energetically. I don't know if you've felt this in terms of what's going on in the universe. And by the way, I don't see the chat on my phone. I tried to do it on the computer and it didn't work itself. Been having a little bit of a technical issue with that. But nonetheless, I want to get back to this week itself, and in terms of what people have been experiencing, the heavy energies of working on the inner self and really wanted to escape that high energy or that anxiety that's been building up. And that's been also for myself included. I've been feeling a bit of a heavy energy for the last 2 weeks. I think since the 8-8 Lions portal, in terms of how it's affected me personally. And I've been picking up on a lot of the energies of other people who are going through difficult times. And so my empathic abilities and tendencies are on alert, so to speak. So sometimes it's difficult for us to know what's ours and what's somebody else's. And sometimes the cords and attachments that take place have really nothing to do with our own personal issues, and yet we feel what other people are feeling. And if you're empathic, you know what I'm talking about. With that said, it'll lead us to the topic of what I wanted to discuss today, which is our authentic self. And what is our authentic self, so to speak? The part of ourselves that we really sometimes learn to grow with or get accustomed to as we go through challenges in life. If we never really face our challenges, if we don't do inner work, we're really controlled by the impressions or the roles that we've been placed into. And it's imperative for us to develop our own authentic self, the self that feels really comfortable with who we are, the one that could say yes, the person that could say no, the one that could create boundaries for oneself without overstepping themselves in other people's lives and allowing other people to step into their own life. Which brings us also to the sense of being a victim. In other words, when we don't do the inner work, we expect other people to just accommodate our needs without us stepping into the place of discomfort. And rather than being in an ego state where we want things just to flow the way we want them to so that we don't feel any pain or we don't feel anything that would shake our core, it's an important part of our journey. But getting back to the authentic self, many of the impressions we have of who we are based upon the external aspects of ourselves. In other words, we take the feedback from what other people think about us, and we contrive our own self-image or ourself. In other words, growing up in a house, our parents, the way they treated us, the friends, the schools we went to, having siblings, the way they were treated, the comparison of how we look at them in comparison to ourselves. And we can never really develop an authentic self unless we examine ourselves, if we look into ourselves. And that requires us to sit with ourselves. And when we do, we reap the benefits and the riches of knowing who we truly are. No person is really alike unless we want to be like someone else. And when we do that, we lose ourselves in the process. So it's so important for us to find our authentic self because we are unique. We all have a talent. We all have an ability. We have a capacity to be more than the person that we compare ourselves to. Society places a great stress on conforming, and that creates a loss of identity, a loss of individuality. And we wind up losing ourselves in the matrix, in the masses. And many times when we step out of the masses and we create our own individuality, we are shunned. Many people through centuries who were considered weird, different, were looked upon as breaking from the chain, breaking free, but then trying to be suppressed when it was necessary to suppress them because they had information that was beyond the information that was allowed to be spoken about. And we see that today. If we look in nature, if you look at a person's lawn, right, when a dandelion pops up, or crabgrass pops up, or four-leaf clovers pop up, this is all part of nature's individuality, individual species growing within in an environment. And yet, we as humans, people go and buy pesticides or weed killers, and they kill the first sign of something that looks different than what the smooth and grassy green lawn looks like. And that applies to us as well. Many people don't want to see people who break out of the system. They want people to conform. They want the loyalty. And loyalty is a very tricky word in terms of finding our authentic self. Because many times we don't belong or fit in to certain family roles that we're placed in. And it's so important for us to find our authentic self. So what I'd like us to do today is ask the question of, who is your authentic self? What traits do you see? What are the things that you've, like Billy Joel said, we take our faces and we hide them away forever. And sometimes we show ourselves when everyone is gone. So what face are you not showing, or what face are you showing that is inauthentic? And what faces are you showing that you're not showing your true self? And sometimes our words and our actions are completely different. And sometimes our views of what we see ourselves and other people see us as are different. But it's important for us to try to blend them together to find ourselves. So let's go on a journey for authenticity and to see what you get, or what your spirit animal passes on to you about what you need to be, or how you can be more authentic. So that could be the question. How can you be more authentic? In your physical appearance, in your thinking, in your actions, and in your word. Okay. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Make sure you close your eyes. You're not operating any machinery or doing something where you need to concentrate on something else. And let's go. It's a fall day, and the leaves are changing their colors. And it creates a sense of sadness, knowing that the summer months are coming to its waning end. As the leaves turn from green to a lighter color, and some of them are even falling off the branches. But yet, the temperatures are still warm, and the sun shines. And at all the seasons that we face bring new challenges and new messages. And as we walk on this path, a wide path, the wind blows and we hear the leaves shaking on their branches. We look up as we walk forward. Both sides of this path are covered with beautiful trees, changing colors. The birds are whistling and chirping in the trees above. In some places louder than others. And there are places now where you hear no sound of anything other than your inner voice. You're breathing. And you look up between the trees and you see the sun shining. And clouds scattered in different areas in the sky. But but your vision is straight forward. And up ahead presents a rocky formation that you need to climb over in order to get to the other side of the path. And you look at the rocks in front of you as a challenge to overcome and to get where you need to go. And you walk up the rocks and you grasp different parts of the boulders in front of you. And from the top of that little peak area where you climb, you see the other side. And you make your way down to a trail like the one you just were walking on. And as you walk on this rocky path, you notice straight ahead of you there's a tunnel, like a cave right on the path that leads downward. And you enter this tunnel. You see the light at the other side of the tunnel. As you exit the tunnel, there's a vast valley in front of you that you're unable to go down to, but just view from this area where you're standing. And you take a seat, and as you take a deep breath in and close your eyes, breathe in the fresh air. You open your eyes and you're met by an animal that stands in front of you. What animal do you see? You say hello to the animal. You ask the animal, what is my authentic self? What am I showing to the world that is not authentically mine, that I need to show? What parts of myself have I hidden that do not reveal my true authenticity? Listen. You surrender to the information. breath in. thank the animal. And you take one more deep breath in. And when you look in front of you, the animal has disappeared. You take one more vision of where you're seated, and a deep breath in to it. And fill your lungs with the fresh, clean air. And look deep into the valley. And try to retain the message you received. And then you pick yourself up, stand up. Head back into the cave. The light at your back. Up ahead you see the path that you originally took. And you exit the cave. And as you walk on this path, you climb the rocky terrain that will take you back to your original path. This time you're stronger and you feel more energetic. And you feel more complete. Having visited a part of your authentic self. And as you make it over the rocky terrain, you find yourself on the original path. The path where the trees are turning colors. As you walk this path, you recognize that the seasons change and bring about growth and a revitalization of our soul. And just as the season comes, other seasons will come. And for each season there's a benefit and a new challenge. Nothing stays the same. Nature changes and so do we. And you walk the path and up ahead on the right is a large oak tree. It seeks your exchange of energy. And you put both palms on it and look at the vastness how high it reaches into the sky. And through your hands, there's an exchange of energy. The tree understands you, and you understand the tree. You thank it, and release. Continue out of the forest. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take one more deep breath in and exhale. Move your fingers and your toes. Taking one more deep breath in and then coming back into the room. And hopefully you received the information and the answers that you were seeking, or that you were guided to the information that was necessary for you to absorb or take in information that can enhance your soul and help you find your authentic self. We're more powerful when we are in our authenticity. The ability for us to be who we are creates much less stress for ourselves, better relationships with people, friendships, finding our path, our true path of who we are and what we're supposed to be doing rather than what we're told. And so being authentic requires us to go a little bit inward and do the work. And this particular journey offered some of that, I hope. I want to thank the people for being here in this shamanic journey drumming session and supporting me. And I honor you and I thank you. And again, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. And if you can give it a like, I'd appreciate that. As in starting September, I'll be starting a Patreon group of a drumming circle. So hopefully you'll be part of that. I'd love to have you there. I see some of you thanking me. Thank you so much. I'm glad you feel relaxed. And you can use these drummings. You can play them over and over again to work on these particular questions that we have. All right. So I want to thank you again for being here and have a great day. And thank you for joining.